Girl, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, do you know this?
Oh my God, Shani Lavely and Nicole. Shani Lavely and Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is bold. Shani Lavely and Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and voice. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shani Lavely and Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lavely and Nicole. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lavely and Nicole. Everywhere, it's Shani Lavely and Nicole. Oh yeah, grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.
I was essayed by my boyfriend, and pretty much every time I talk about it, I have people saying, but he was your boyfriend, so how was it SA? While it's pretty annoying to have to hear that, let's break it down because this is a topic that is not discussed enough. First of all, is SA by a partner a crime? Yes. In a lot of the world, including the UK, any sort of SA in a relationship is a crime. And my ex is currently serving a 5-year prison sentence for SAing me. Now, a lot of people mistakenly think that SA within a relationship is actually considered lesser in the eyes of the law, but this is not true. And in certain circumstances, it can actually be considered an aggravating factor and get you a tougher sentence. That's because it is considered domestic abuse. So why is SA in a relationship bad? Because even though you might have been intimate with that person before, there might be loads of reasons why you don't want to do it. Perhaps you don't feel well, perhaps you're upset, perhaps you're tired, perhaps you just don't want to. And that is totally okay, and your consent should be respected. No one should ever force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Your body is your body. Now, SA in a relationship is particularly painful because it's the person who you love and you're supposed to be able to trust who's the person that is hurting you, and that can be soul destroying. Not enough people talk about SA in relationships, and unfortunately it's too common, and we need to start speaking about it. Remember that your body belongs to you and consent is always required.
Hey. Welcome to Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. And as you know, Leah Nicole is not going to be on right away. She will probably jump on a little later. She is on set. I said that yesterday. I'm going to say it again. And she did jump on yesterday. I got better service today, y'all. So I'm doing pretty good. We are going to jump into this topic in regards to date rape. Date rape when trust turns dangerous. In this episode, we open the door to the truth of too many people carry in silence. We're talking about date rape. When someone you trust crosses a line you never consented to. When a night meant for connection turns into trauma. Our guest bravely shares their experience, not for sympathy, but to make awareness and empowerment to women across the board that go through these types of things. Now, I'm going to ask everybody when they're coming in and they're watching and they're tuning in to keep any comments that may be negative towards the guest when she comes up to tell her story. Like, once again, date rape is a topic that we don't talk about. We don't talk about it because people feel like if you're in a relationship, if somebody's doing something to you, that it's okay. What you have to understand is when you're in any situation, and it's sexual and you feel uncomfortable and you say, I don't want to do this, it means I don't want to do this. But what happens when somebody slides you something? What happens when somebody puts something in your drink? What happens when somebody gives you something that you're not aware they gave you? That's when it becomes a bigger situation. I want to play a couple of clips of some women that were talking about being raped by their boyfriend while they were sleeping. Now, you ever hear like men, they say, or you was asleep and I just rolled over and I climbed on top of you, or um, you was intoxicated and somebody took advantage of you because you was intoxicated. If you are not in your right sound mind and somebody is doing something to you, that is not consensual. If a person is so shallow to where you are drunk and they're trying to force themselves into you, you wake up raw, your private part is hurting because someone then did something to you that violated you, that's a violation. Now, this is not something that is a conversation that you can talk about lightly because it's a big topic. So we're going to share our stories on this platform today, and they're hard stories to talk about because it's date rape, and you sometimes you may never know the offender. You might never know the person who did it to you because it wasn't consenting, especially if you're in a drunk state of mind. So in this clip, this young lady, she's going to talk about how uh, her boyfriend was sleeping with her while she was asleep. Like every time she would go to sleep, she would he would try to come on to her. And this is what she's talking about. So here's the clip.
Such a mystery why we don't want to date men.
So he took my pants off fully, around the ankles, off the toes, so careful, so quiet, so everything. But of course, like when I take my sleeping pills, he must have been doing this. I didn't wake up. I had no idea, nothing. No, I have no memories, nothing, no recollection, zilch. The only thing is waking up and having in the underwear. So obviously, fake took the pill. Pants are off. He's spitting into his hand. He's like making noises with spit. Like I obviously didn't see it with my own eyes. I can hear the shit. What is he doing? He's putting it on himself, and then he starts to slip it, like goes back into the spoon position real fucking slow, starts to slip it in a little bit. I wait until it's just in a little bit. It's just in a little bit, okay? When I tell you I jump up out of the fucking bed, and I've never seen this man more startled than this before. I've never seen him more fucking startled than this. I jump up first, then he jumps up, and I said, what the fuck are you doing? I knew it was you. I fucking knew you were doing this to me. This is why I'm sick. I was crying. I was a mess. I was like, you don't give a fuck about me. You don't care about my well-being. You know I'm bleeding into the toilet. You know I'm on all this medication. You know your sister's been saying lies about me, saying it's fake. Like, you are so evil and fucked. And you know what this man did? I need a drink of water. He gaslit me to my face. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What's going on? I was asleep. I was next to you. And I said, I fucking didn't take a sleeping pill tonight. I'm not asleep. I waited until this moment. I was never asleep. I know what you're doing. I know what you've done. He's like, you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. All this drama at nighttime. It's always drama with you.
If you guys follow the Paul family after this, I have no words for you. Like, you're a hopeless case. I actually noticed I was following them, so I'll give you that pass because I really think that they're buying followers. And that was really scary because I don't give a damn about these people. I don't even know who they were. But you better unfollow them right now. Like, make sure you're not following these people because you're protecting them.
So she was speaking about the boyfriend that would come in the room when she was sleeping, have intercourse with her, and she couldn't understand why she was waking up and why she was bleeding in the morning, why she had soreness, why she had things going on with her body. And he was doing all of this knowing she was on heavy medication. She was not sleeping. And then when she would doze off into that sleep under the medication she was taking, then he would try to insert himself into her. Now, years ago, and I do mean years ago, and I don't think I've ever told this story publicly, but years ago in my life, I used to live over on the east side in Atlanta, if you know anything about the east side. And I was young. I must have been about, I want to say 20, maybe 24, 25, I think it was. And this is why to this day I don't drink around certain people, because you could drink around people and think that the people that are around you are paying attention to the people that are in your setting. And this particular night I slipped. I ended up going and drinking, and I had drunk a lot that night. It was me and my friends, and these guys came over, and I was thinking that I thought in my mind that I actually called my actual boyfriend. So I thought I called my boyfriend over, but I had got so drunk before the whole situation went down. Now, I went in the back of the room where I typically sleep, and I remember telling my friend, I was like, "Hey, don't let nobody come back here. I'm kind of woozy. I don't think I'm in my right mind, but I'm tired, so I'm going to go back in the back." So I went in the back of the house and I fell asleep. Now, when I woke up, I was bleeding from my rectum. I had cuts between my legs. I had choking around my neck where I had scars from where he choked me. And it was crazy because I remember the guy and I remember him clearly. And I remember him just being at me. Like he kept talking about how good he would be and all the stuff he would do. And I wasn't really showing him any interest. And I think what happened when he saw that my girlfriends were occupied, that he said, "This is my time to slip out and nobody won't see me." But I just remember just waking up being completely traumatized. And then I went to the bathroom and I was trying to understand what had took place. And it's crazy because now you feel violated and you feel like you really can't tell nobody because you feel like you put yourself in the situation. Because in my mind I kept saying, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't do this, if I had have done this, or if I was more alert, or if I would have, it was all the ifs and ifs and ifs and ifs and ifs and ifs. Now I remember saying no. I remember saying, "Don't do this." I remember that. And the crazy part about the whole thing is I never saw that guy, never, he never crossed my path. I remember the guys that was with him. And I remember asking the other guys that came that night to the house, "Hey, whatever happened to your friend, the one that came with you?" And it's almost like they knew that he had done something. And you know how guys, they give each other dat for stuff that they do. And that was one of the things that I carried for a long time growing up. Like, it set a path in my life that was more like chaotic because I felt like, first of all, I was violated. Second of all, I couldn't tell anybody. Third of all, how would I explain? Because my reputation was already, she's so wild anyway. She's wild, so she would have got what she deserved anyway. But that is really not how it works in a world. It doesn't work that if somebody, if I don't care if I was a prostitute. If I say no, I say no. I don't care if I was your girlfriend. If I say no, it's a no. You see what I'm saying? And some people don't respect the no. They just feel like they can do whatever they want to you. And that is not how it works. But for years of my life after that, I carried that for a long time. And it was just until I had to get therapy just to get the healing from it because I couldn't comprehend it in my mind. And then I never talked about it out loud. It was like, okay, it happened. Now let me block it out. Let me block it out of my head. So that's what I did. So I know there's a lot of women that go through this, being sexually assaulted. They don't speak about it because people typically will think that it's something you did. You was too attractive. You might have been flirty. You might have misled somebody. Well, in this situation with me, I know I wasn't misleading. I know there was nothing that I did. I didn't give this guy there was nothing that he could have felt that I was attracted to, wanted to, may have. He was not confused. What he did was probably watched how much alcohol I was consuming, and I was having a good time. I was amongst friends. So when you're amongst your friends, you get a little more comfortable. Well, I've learned not to drink so much, not to be in front of, even with my friends that I trust. I do not move in a certain way where I do not comprehend where I am. I'm not one that sits down, when I'm out, if I'm drinking, I'm moving. I'm moving around so the liquor won't hit me. And I never want to feel out of control over where I'm at. Like I have to be in control of wherever I am, because the second you you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's, seeing what you do, how you moving, if you're moving a certain kind of way, because people, predators, men, and I hate to say that, men watch what you do. They watch you. From the time you walk in, you could be telling somebody no. Another incident, and this is why I don't date on social media. I met a guy on social media, good looking guy too. I mean, he was good looking. Met him on social media. Seemed like the nicest dude in the world. He called himself Hazel Eyes. He's still blocked on my social media to this day because he definitely traumatized me. I used to sing a lot and host a lot of events way back in the day. I mean, I was always in something, always hosting, on the scene, doing this. And this guy pursued me. He did. And I was like, okay, well, he seems like he would be a good dude, right? So after months, and I mean like maybe 6 months, I finally said, okay, I'll talk to him. So I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Shelly, and he told me his name. He didn't give me his real name. He told me his name was Hazel Eyes. So I said, okay, how you doing? So this particular night, I had a function to go to. My mom, all of us went. He met my mom. He met my family. I mean, he met everybody that night. Like, we was out. And then I had to leave that situation and then go to the event that I had to host. So I had drove my car to where we was with my mom. And then my mom was like, well, I'll just take your car. And I was like, well, let me take my car. And he was like, no, you can drive with me. It's cool. I'll get you home safe. Yada, yada, yada. Me and my girlfriend again. She gets in her car. I get in mine with him. And we're off to the other side of town. At this time, we was going to College Park. I live on the east side. I'm going to College Park. We go to College Park. We get to my event. I'm fun. I'm happy. Now, mind you, he wasn't my boyfriend. He was just a guy that I had just met, known him for about 6 months, thought he was cool, thought he was, going to be like a cool dude to kick it with, never gave any. First of all, I never gave him the impression that I even wanted to get with him. I just thought he was nice looking. And I was like, okay, when you're getting to know somebody, that is what it is. But then you have these men who feel like they're entitled. They feel like they're entitled to, like, I don't have to, I'm good looking. So to hell with what you feel, I can do what I want to do. Right. So the whole night I'm hosting, he kept coming up to me saying things like, he kept saying, oh, you act like you don't know who I am now. But I was hosting. I'm hosting an event. You knew I was coming to host. And I told him in the car, I was like, I'm not going to really be able to pay you a lot of attention because I got to keep these people's party going because I'm hosting these people's party. And he was like, oh, no, I understand. I'm cool with everything. But he wasn't so cool with everything. So my girlfriend that was with me, she was like, she had got a headache and she said, I'm getting ready to go. Are you good? He says to her, she's fine. I'll get her home safely. My car was now at her house. So I had to get back to the east side. He goes, okay, so we get ready to go. We leaving, party shut down. We're in the car driving. This dude starts rocking. Y'all would have heard me tell this story on my before in just a live, just talking about this. He starts rocking in the car like this, like he's doing like this. We're coming by the airport. We're passing the airport. Now he starts speeding, like he's going super fast. And I'm like, you good? I'm looking like, you good? You straight? You all right? Because you're going kind of fast. Like, slow down. And then he was talking to himself. The dude was like, you don't know who I am. You don't know who. And I'm thinking, okay, now I'm scared, but I had my cell phone in my hand. And thank God I thought on my feet, because if I didn't, I probably would have ended up in a ditch with a bullet in my head. I ain't even gonna lie. He starts flying. This dude is going like 100, flying down from the airport. I'm talking about flying, rocking. He pulls out a gun from under his seat, rests it on his leg. And he was like, bitch, you know what I'm finna do. I'm about that. Like, now, I don't know if he had personality disorder. I don't know if he was just crazy. I don't know if he thought he was good looking and I just didn't make him feel comfortable. I don't know. Now this point, I'm just stupid scared. And I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. So my instincts kicked in and I hit my phone and I said, let me hit my phone and call my friend. So I hit, while he was shaking and flipping out in the car, I hit my girlfriend's number. So she's hearing everything in real time in the car. And he's screaming at me. And he was like, I can kill you. I can take this motherfucking car and I can drive it off the goddamn road. You thought you was that. You gonna walk around and try to play me. And I'm that nigga. And he's just going on and on and on. Now I'm scared, and I ain't even gonna lie. I was scared out my whole freaking mind. I was scared. Like I was scared. And I'm like, I'm finna die. Like all I kept thinking was, this nigga finna kill me. Don't nobody know where I'm at but the person on the phone. And this is before they had where you can drop your location. You just had a phone and she was on the phone holding that phone. Now I take the phone and I give it to him. And I said, take the phone. So he's talking on the phone. My girlfriend screaming at her. No, I'm finna show this bitch. She don't know who I am. She don't know. She thinks she could just turn up on me, act like I ain't a nobody. She walking around like she that shit. But I was hosting an event. I'm hosting. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? I'm hosting. But his movement and his energy, he was so mad. He ended up taking me where I had to go. He dropped me to where I had to go. He upped this nigga. Like, it was almost like the man jumped out of his body. Because when we pulled up to my friend's house and she comes running out the door, he turned into somebody totally different. He was like, it was like night and day. It was like, shoo, shoo. And he's like, oh, I got her home safe. You know, she good. I wasn't going to really hurt her. What? And I was young. So I was scared to death. I'm like, I'm too young to die. You know, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't trying to go out like this. And I damn sure want to go out by no bullet. So these kind of events, like these are the things that I, in my life of learning, is why I don't do social media. When people are too anxious to meet me or be in my ambiance too fast, the shit is creepy weird. And y'all think people be feeling like, oh, you trying to be conceited, you trying to be stuck up, you trying to be, no, I'm trying to live. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know who's obsessed with you when you have people following you and you have fans and you have people that really just love you. They love you to the point where they trying to hurt you. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't realize they're hurting you. That's the whole thing. And then some people, it's a challenge. It's like a challenge to get the girl and turn her up or tell you to your homeboys or turn up for the team or whatever these monkey people do that do goofy stuff like this. But it's really what it is. If I say no, it's a no. You see what I'm saying? If I be like, nah, nigga, I don't care if we in the middle of bucking and I stop and say, nigga, I don't want to do this. That means I don't want to do it. And you got to respect what I'm saying if that's what I'm saying. But a lot of times men feel like when they have the girl, they have this gem and they trying to run a number. And a lot of times it's you trying to run a number and trying to show your homeboys that you that nigga or that you that dude and you cool and you getting brownie points for, oh, I done hit on Shelly or I done got Shelly to do or I done, you know what I'm saying? So when I sit down and I say, a lot of people in my DM and my DM be off the chain. I ain't gonna lie, my DM be off the chain. Like I can't answer all that shit. But I don't fool with it because I don't know people's intentions. You see what I'm saying? And intentions online is scary. It's the same reason why I don't really do date apps because I find like you meet people, you go out with them, you really don't know who you going out with. You could be going out with crazy people. Now, I ain't going to say that all these dating sites are bad and that all these things you meet are bad. No, it's not. But you got to pick and choose your poison. You got to pick and choose the people you allowing in your space, in your energy, all that stuff. You said you got a question, ask it, Bird. You got to know the people that you have around you. If you have a girlfriend and she's just as turned up as you and one of y'all ain't in y'all right mind and y'all around a whole bunch of people, that's already a wrong because y'all both can't be turned up drinking and ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody in their right mind. It's either got to be one or the other. You drinking, I'm not. I got your back because I'm watching you. You see what I'm saying? It has to be something like that. You can't be out here just, oh, this dude on social media hit me up and he like me. And well, he probably done hit up about 15 other hoes besides you. And I ain't trying to say people no hoes, but you see what I'm saying? He might have done hit up somebody else too. And you don't know if his motive is, let me get with her. Let me see what she about. And a lot of times people just want to have sex. That's probably why I get so many dick pics. I ain't even gonna hold you. Is it normal when a 39-year-old talking about another kid online? There is nothing, sweetie, about anybody 39 talking to any child online. Period, point blank. If anybody's having any conversation with anybody that's young and they're 39 and they're under 18 and they're underage, that is not appropriate. That's not appropriate on any level. So if anybody's doing that, you need to disengage in that conversation, because that conversation is not good. There is nothing that a 39-year-old, 25-year-old, 21-year-old should want from anybody that's under 16. And I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, don't even entertain that kind of foolishness. Sexual assault is when somebody does something to you that you feel violated. They have violated you. They have violated your womanhood. They have violated you in an aggressive way that you was not consenting to. If you're not consenting to something, you're not consenting to it. It's just a no. It's just a no. He said, amen. He said, watch as well as pray. Matthew 26:41. Proceed with caution, Shelly. No, and I am. People feel like now, like when I meet people, they be like, you so hard. No, I'm not so hard. I'm just not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can dance with you. I can sit down and kiki kaka for a little while, but I'm not the chick you're going to take home at the end of the night. I can tell you that right now. I'm not her. Maybe back in the day, younger me probably would have been off the chain, running all over the place. But there's a time when you got to grow. You know what I'm saying? You got to grow out of stuff. I'm not the girl that's going home with the dude because he was cute. I'm not doing it. Like, that's just not who I am. Call me bougie, conceited, whatever you want to call me, but that's saving my life. You see what I'm saying? That's me saving my life, because just like you hit me up in my inbox, you probably, like I said, you probably hit up a whole bunch of people in their inbox talking about what you want, what you want, what you want. What we're not going to do is that. Have you been talked about on social media? Oh, I've been trashed on social media. Honey, that might be the story of my life. Like, no, I don't care about people talking about me on social media. When you open your world up to be a social media person, honey, you open Pandora's box for people to say what they want. Somebody will watch this show and say something about it. Trust me when I tell you. But at the end of the day, you got to pick your poison. I think in life, you have to pick your poison. You got to pick what fits for you. Sometimes you got to stop and you got to scale back, and you got to look at what it is. You got to think, it's 100 beautiful people in the world, millions of them. I'm just saying 100, throwing a number. It's 100 beautiful women out here in the world. You got to ask yourself, what makes you so different? What makes you so, you know what I'm saying? What makes you so, men don't like what's hard. Men like what's easy. They like what's simple. They don't want to have to work for nothing. And if they feel like, they say the saying, if a man take you on 2 dates, by the second day, he done hit it, he done got it. By the time you give him that and you give that away of yourself, what left is there to give? It's not very often they stick around, unless you just kicking Bobo with them too. Now there's kick it people that you just kick it and that's what it is. You just say, we kicking it, we gonna do this and that's gonna be it. We gonna go on a couple of dates, we gonna whoop the whoop the whoop, and that's it. You got them kind. But we talking about the kind that come in your inbox and hound you and pursue you. And then you go out with them and they be different. They be different kind of people. They move different. Now you go out and you looking at behaviors. And you ever notice, like when you're out, they always want to say, you want something to drink? You want to drink? Oh, you don't want to drink? And when you tell them you don't drink, it seems like it's not comfortable no more. Oh, you don't drink nothing? No, I'm good. I want to be in my right head when I'm talking to you. I want to make sure I know what you're doing at all times. You might take me in an alley. You see what I'm saying? And anytime you going out on dates, blind dates that you meet somebody on, always make somebody know where you at. Leave your location on with somebody that can get to you very quickly if they don't hear from you in a while. There's a lot of people that go on dates and go on and get murdered. They don't have the chance to sit here and tell the story. I'm here and I'm able to tell the story. You see what I'm saying? I'm still standing. I'm still here to say, hey, I've been there. I've been there. I've done that. So these are the things that you have to always pay attention to, always open your mind to, and understand that you're not by yourself when people are violating you. If something, like I said, there's helpline, there's hotlines, there's people you can call, even if you're in this a shameful kind of way, like you're ashamed of things that you've done, and you feel like I've done so much wrong that people are going to look at me and say I deserved it. There's nothing about being attacked, raped, sexually assaulted that you deserved it. I don't care what life you live. You don't deserve it. If you say no, it's like I said, if you say no, it's no. You don't deserve somebody to penetrate you or slip you some shit that you ain't want. If I walk away from a drink, I don't come back and drink that drink. Like, I don't turn my back. That's why I drink Coronas in a bottle. and the bottle is always in my hand. I'm not gonna rest it down to give you time to, slide me nothing. Cause the worst thing you can wake up to, like I said, like when I woke up and that happened to me at my house, it was uncomfortable. Like, if I never had anal sex, I now had it and didn't even know what it felt like. You see what I'm saying? I didn't get the pleasure out of that. I didn't understand it. It was like you violated me. And then having to go to a doctor and explain it was even worse. Saying, hey, this happened, and the doctor's telling you, well, you could talk about it. No, you can't. You can't talk about it because now you feel weird. You feel, once again, violated. You don't know what this dude had. Like I said, I never saw the dude after that. I never saw him, never laid eyes on him, couldn't tell you what it looked like. If I bumped into the man today, I couldn't tell you because I don't remember. But like I always said, like to forgive, I had to, because it was like a scar. And when you're letting go of things and you're trying to heal from things and trauma and things that you go through in life, you got to shave those things off of you. You got to keep shaving them off and saying, okay, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay that this happened. It's not okay, but it's okay because I got to get past it. And you don't get past nothing if you keep holding on to it. So certain things in my life, I've had to just let go. I had to let go and just say, for whatever reason, I would hope that you never know how karma might have came back to that guy. I don't even know if he's alive. I don't know if he's living. I just know he's blocked on my social media. You know what I'm saying? And the one before that, I don't know what happened to that dude. I couldn't tell you where he is in life right now. But sometimes when you do monkey stuff to people, monkey stuff come back to you. And it might come back worse. It might come back worse. You might have did something to me and it might have hit you hard. You see what I'm saying? It might have hit you harder. You can right now. So those are the things. The next guest that I'm bringing up today, she experienced something like this, and she was willing to come on and share her story. Now, like I said, I want y'all to be not aggressive in this chat, which you normally people that watch me are grown, so they know not to just blurt out any craziness that you can say to somebody. You don't want to offend anybody. Valon says, amen, Shelly, good measure, pressed down, shaken together. No, you have to, like I said, like I think in my life, I've been repaired. You know what I'm saying? Like you go through some stuff and you get over it and you go past it and you push past it and you go on to the next thing. And I think for me, it's always been like that. I've always been able to push past stuff. I've always been able to bounce back, but then consuming it in my life caused me a lot of, like I said, there's things, the way I move, the way I flow, the way I do stuff might be a little different because I'm not willing to find out the worst things anymore. I don't want to know what it likes to feel certain kind of ways. I'm okay, with being by myself. I'm okay in the setting, you know what I'm saying? Because before it was like, oh no, I gotta have, or I gotta do, or, you go through these things in life, but you have to ask yourself, what are you inviting? What are you attracting? When you're out, what energy are you attracting? If you come off all over the place, a man's gonna feel like you're all over the place. Some people say they flirt with their eyes, they flirt with their body language, they flirt with, a person can tell when you like them. That's why I say there's no mistake. A person can tell when you like them. Like when you really like them and you really want to deal with them, they know. They're not stupid. Men aren't stupid. So when you don't like them, they know. You hear people, they'll say like, I don't want to be in the friend zone. Don't put me in the friend zone. I don't want to be in that zone. But what is that? What if there's no attraction at all? What does that mean? And then you men that have daughters, you have to teach your daughters this. You have to tell your daughters when a man does something to you that violates you, it doesn't make it correct. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make it right. And you have to be role models to your daughters. We have a lot of young girls having kids and the kids see men all the time. They're seeing all kinds of people come in and out all the time. Some of them get sexual assaulted and they never talk about it. They don't even live to tell it. The life changes them and things happen in life that changes them. So you have to ask yourself those things. Like, am I teaching my daughters the things that they need to know? Am I telling her the things that she needs to look for and the signs of a predator or somebody that makes you feel uncomfortable about yourself? And a lot of times women feel like, oh, he did it because, no, he did it because he felt like he could. And that's not acceptable. It's absolutely not acceptable. So it's just like to bring awareness to the topic. We don't like to have these heavy discussions. We like to always talk about the jolly and the great, and we do. We have fun and we laugh, but you also have to bring awareness to the things that really happen in life. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to stop at some point and say, well, we need to talk about this. This is the topic that we don't speak about. We need to, you know, listen to some things, and you have to, because now the time we're living in, social media is the biggest platform of dating. You see some people show up around you, they pop up to your house, they come over. You got to pay attention to behaviors and stop saying to yourself, oh, they wouldn't do that to me. Oh, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. He didn't mean it that way. Oh no, no, people mean what they say and their behaviors, and they mean what they do. They're not pretending when they're doing it. They are really doing what they want to do. So stop excusing. That's the first thing. Stop excusing the behavior. Stop excusing the things that people do, that men do. And I'm not just saying there is men that get sexually assaulted. It happens both. Now it's not common, but it happens. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. There's young boys that get sexually assaulted. Things happen. You might have an older woman who has an obsession with a younger boy, and he's telling her, I'm not attracted. And like she feels entitled. So you have to pay attention to all of these things that come into play when it comes to things that happen in your life, and things that you go through, and things that you see, and those kind of things. So I think my guest has arrived. I'm going to bring her up. Her name is Alon, and she's going to speak about the things that about her incident and what took place. But I'm going to let her tell her story. Hello, Alon.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I am
Um,
good. I'm
so good. So I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I wanted you to share your story of what happened to you. So it's about date rape when trust turns dangerous. And I want to hear it in your own words, and what happened and what took place, and what led up to it, and who was the person to you.
okay. So
Okay. So
I was
we're gonna
dating.
start there.
Okay. So I was dating this guy. We were living in a hotel. This was back when I was kind of, wild child. So we were living in a hotel. We were very much in love. We fell in love really, really fast. But he did drugs. He did fentanyl. Um, and back
Hmm.
then, so did I. I was doing, cocaine. So he would always have people over and stuff like that, and they would all do their thing, and I would drink also as well when the people would be over. But one particular day, this was after he picked me up from my house where I grew up, which is a sizable house. So I guess he in his brain, he's like, he never cared. He's thinking, poof, idea. So he partners with a girl who would always be around me. She's very, very nice, and I saw her as a friend. And one day
Hmm.
we're doing our regular thing. We're in the hotel. Like it would be men in and out, women in and out. Just my cousin would be there with me too. And
Hmm.
so I'm drinking and I'm good and drunk, so I'm not on my p's and q's. So I put my drugs out and I do a line, and I just don't remember anything. So my cousin went back to the house. She left. So I don't know what happened to me, because me and him had sexual relations before that. So I wake up on the ground with my chest just hurting so bad, and everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. When she
Mm-hmm.
got there, so my cousin tells me when she got there, at first he did not want to let her in the room because I passed away. I was dead. When she saw me, she said that my lips were blue, I was green, and everybody is so high, they're just leaning over. They're not even like concerned about me. So she, I guess, when she got there, that scared everybody. Everybody left. So she performed CPR on me for about 7 minutes straight, and it ended up cracking my sternum.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So I ended up in the hospital for I was in hospital for like 2 weeks because of the injury and everything like that. And that's when I found out. They were like, you're lucky to be alive and you're lucky to not be brain dead, because when your brain goes without oxygen for so long, you wake up with issues. Some people wake up on they have to have breathing tubes, or they have mental issues and stuff after that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's that story. He went to jail. He definitely went to jail. I My cousin ended up going to jail too because they were not too happy about it. So we were young, so retaliation, things of that nature. So that's how that happened. And then the plot twist, they robbed me too. What? Because he was my boyfriend, so I'm the type of girl, like back in the day, I used to like, oh, you can have access to my phone. Like I didn't have a lock on my phone because I don't have anything to hide. They went into my Cash App. Him and the girl that I was referencing earlier. Turns out that they had
Mm-hmm.
made this whole conspiracy, like, to rob me. They were like, we're just gonna give her enough to knock her out. They thought it was just gonna knock me out. They didn't think it was gonna kill me. And so I woke up to nothing. And it was luckily it was just my Cash App, and it only had like $150 in it, but still, So I did see him after that. I saw him after that, but it was like I was frozen, and I like it was literally it was the scariest thing ever. So that's one incident. I had another incident where I was engaged, and okay, where yeah, so I had another incident where I was engaged to this guy, and it's kind of similar to the video that she played, the clip that she played earlier. And I would drink a lot to fall asleep because I had like a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. And so one night I wake up and I just like feel myself moving, and he's on top of me having sex with me. And I was so ashamed, and I was just so like taken aback. I pretended like I was still asleep. I didn't even, and he was just talking to me and saying the weirdest things, like, you're just so beautiful when you're asleep, blah, 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 blah. So, like, kind of like the girl did, one night I didn't drink anything, but I was pretending to be drunk. And I woke up in the middle of it. And his attitude, unlike the other guy where he was like shocked and like his was like, you're my fiance. Like what? And he just kept going, and I just turned my head to the side, and I just pretended like it wasn't happening. And it was a continuous thing. It would happen like almost I would be it was to the point to where I would start getting drunk on purpose because I was like, this is gonna happen every single night. And it happened almost every single night until we broke up.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
whew, that's a lot, girl. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going through that, and just how did you heal from that, from all of that, and like
I
that's a lot.
it's a lot, and it took a while, and I don't even, honestly, I don't even think I healed from it. I don't think I'm one of those women that healed from it. It still bothers me. I still have trust
Right,
issues. Now I'm on my P's and Q's. Luckily
right,
I don't do drugs anymore. But if I am drinking, like they said, I'm sharing my location. Somebody knows where I
right,
am. I usually have somebody with me. I don't even go out by myself anymore. I have to have like a
right,
friend with me, and we're watching each other's back, because especially after the second incident, because you would think that the dying would be the one that really got me, but it was just knowing that you're violating me. And then it was the thing that really messed me up is, like I said, the first time it happened, I pretended to still be asleep because I was just so like I can't believe this is happening. It was just like the things that he was just saying. It was just showing me how devious men can be. Like
Right.
that is very odd for you
It's very
to
crazy.
enjoy. Like, yeah, you're saying all these things about how like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous when you're sleeping, and I'm just like, this is not happening. So I just didn't acknowledge it. I never told him about it. I never told him that, oh yeah, I know that happened until that one, because like I said, it happened, it started happening more and more after the first time. And he
Right.
literally looked at me, he was like, you're my fiance. Like, what? And he was way older than me, which I don't even know if that was a factor, but I stayed with him. It took me a while to leave because I just had this trauma, and I was like, well, I don't want to go anywhere else. And
Right.
it's already happening, and I literally just blocked it out of my mind. And I used alcohol to cope a lot because like I said, when I started realizing that, oh, this has been happening for a while, and
Mhm.
I wasn't able, like, I didn't wake up to like any sensations because we would have, he was my fiance. But I just I just started drinking because I was like, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen
Right.
again and again and again. But that first time when like waking up in the middle, because I didn't open my eyes, but I just, like I said, I felt myself moving, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I realized what was happening, and I just blocked it out.
Isn't
I
it
still struggle
crazy?
with it.
Isn't it crazy how like how like we as women have to take such precaution nowadays? Like we can't even go out and
Mhm.
can't even go out and have a drink. We have to turn on our locations. We have to make sure we're safe because this type of stuff is still happening till this day. You know, we
Yeah.
you can never be too safe in everything. You have to
Mm-mm.
let somebody know where you are. And it's all we got all, especially in Atlanta, we got all kind of sex trafficking out here, snatching women up and stuff like that. Like it's this happens.
Yeah.
This is still happening to this day. So and everything. So you can never ever be too safe. And sometimes people who you think you can trust turns out to be you can't even trust them.
You can't trust them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you?
Because
Exactly.
So
I literally, when I was in the hospital after the incident with the being drugged by fentanyl, you wouldn't imagine, because like I said, I was there for like 2 weeks. So you know the nurses, they change. So many nurses told me, I've been through an incident like that. Like it was so many of them that were able to identify with me to where it was like,
Right.
this is a problem. This is a
absolutely.
serious problem.
Right.
Yeah.
People feeling
So
like it's okay to do certain things. And that's what I said earlier. It's not okay if you say no, if you're not coherent, if you're drunk, if somebody takes advantage of you in a situation where you are not in your right mind, that is a violation within itself. It's a
Right.
yep.
violation. There is no ground. There is no, it was an accident. You slipped up and did it. You didn't
Yeah.
do, you see what I'm saying? You did it. It's not right. So you have to bring awareness to that. I'm glad that you were able to come on and speak on that because I know that's hard to relive it in your head and like
Yeah.
you got to forgive it to move on past it, but it's hard.
Hmm.
It's a it's a hard topic, but it happens to so many women that don't talk about it. And then you got to think about the women that didn't even make it, that probably died in the process, or someone killed them, or somebody hurt them, or did too much to them, that they ain't here
Hmm.
telling the story. You said you was blue in the face and you had died, you had
I
left.
had no heartbeat whatsoever.
Wow.
And she was so frantic because she was a little bit younger than me. She performed CPR on me for like 6 to 7 minutes straight, so much, and she was so emotional that she accidentally cracked my sternum. And but like I said, once she arrived, all the men, all the other men, no one stayed. No one called the police, the ambulance. No one even went outside and said help. Like I was just like, oh, let's get out of here.
Right.
Wow. It's
Because even
crazy.
men that I think that even men that wouldn't even do that, they still won't check their homeboys. Like they won't
Right.
say, "Hey, like dog, what are you doing?" That's
Right.
way too common for people to just for you to be as a man, and
Right.
it's just odd because it's like a lot of these men have daughters. Of
Yeah.
course, you have a mother.
Hello.
You
Right.
have sisters, and it's just
Right.
like, would you if that were to happen to somebody that in your family,
Right.
you lose it.
Exactly. Like
So
you wouldn't that's it's just crazy. It's really just crazy to me. Like you really have to be careful of the
yeah.
company you keep and everything. Because yeah, it's right. Like you have a mother, daughter. You won't want somebody doing that to somebody who you love and everything. Then you know, no one calling the police. It's just wow, like nobody called the
Just
police,
to
nobody
feel
tried to
like
help.
a band. No one
Right.
tried to resuscitate me. No one tried to,
Wow.
because they have, like I said, this was their drug of choice. So they had Narcan. No one tried to do anything. But
Wow.
that's
It's
my
just
story,
crazy.
guys.
Yeah, it is. Everything. But I'm glad you're here. Like I said, you one of the lucky ones to make it here to tell your story and everything. Because like she said, we got people, women who don't get a chance to tell their story and everything. Is like I said, is that's why I'm glad we're bringing awareness to this because, like you
Yes.
said, there's people who didn't make it.
Yeah, it's a
Like
lot of it's way too common.
yeah, it is very way too common. So how can people communicate boundaries clearly, like without fear or shame? You think like I don't know.
I think that's the problem. I think that's the
Mhm.
problem that we're so, because like it's already a shameful event. So
Right,
to communicate it half of the time, because I've had boyfriends after that, and I've tried to have, the conversations with them, just trying to peep out. Like it's kind of like you have to be a detective, like you're trying to peep out the safety, because who
right,
wants to come to somebody and be like, hey, yeah, so you know that I was raped. So I just want to make sure that you're
right,
not a weirdo. Like I just want to
right,
make sure that
right.
you won't do this to
Yeah,
me. And
I was about to say like yeah, that's very 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 true. I'm like that's exactly correct. Like I want to make sure that's what I'm saying. I don't. It's like what do we do? Like do we get? Do we need to start getting some background checks or something? I don't
I
know.
mean, but you
exactly.
have to be
Like,
more
Um,
cautious. You have to be more cautious with
yeah,
people. You can't, that's why I was saying earlier, you can't, even on social media dating, you can't meet somebody, run off out in the middle of nowhere. You don't know this man from a can of paint. You meeting him by yourself. Any man that's a man and you say, I'm meeting you for the first time, I'd like to bring somebody with me, or have your friend in the same restaurant you eating at, one of the two, or have your location where somebody
hmm
can find you. And don't be
right,
drinking too much. Don't be, because we as women, we tend to want to drink and oh, we on a date, so let me drink. No, sometimes you got to know who you sitting with
scale
before
back.
you
Yeah,
just dive off into the, you know what I'm saying, dive off out there, because this is real and people really do die.
yes,
Women
they
really
do.
do lose their life
they do.
this kind of stuff.
They do.
Yeah,
They either die by getting drugged or die by being
yeah,
killed, or, and like I said, I don't even know where to start when it comes to like how we would set like healthy boundaries with them. Like, cause it's like,
yeah.
it's already a touchy subject. So to talk
Hmm.
to like your next partner about it,
Right.
it's like, how do you even bring that up?
That's what I'm
And
saying.
then
I
some
wouldn't even know
men
where to
will
start.
judge you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And some men
Some
will
men will
judge
say
you.
you
They'll
deserve
look
it.
at you
That's what I was
like,
talking about
Right.
earlier when I said they make you feel like you did something to deserve it. And there is
mhm,
nothing you can do that's going to make you deserve being sexually assaulted or sexually harassed or sexually
exactly.
anything. There's, I don't care if you're a dancer, if you're a prostitute, if your no is your no.
Right.
Right.
Being out of
I
your
don't care
mind
if
is a
I
whole
was
other thing.
naked.
Right. Right.
You,
And
the,
that's what
because
people that's how it far like that's how it starts too. Some people, even if y'all both negative, if I decide I change my mind, that's it doesn't go
it's
no
it.
further. And you still
We could
take
be in
and
the
you still
middle of
go.
having
Right.
sex,
Hmm.
and I say, no, I don't want to
Right.
anymore. That should be it. But unfortunately, that's not usually the case. And another thing that is very unfortunate is our legal system does not protect us. It does not protect women
No.
at all. Usually
No.
you do not, you can report it and they're going to want to ask you stupid questions
What
like,
did you do? Right.
well,
What
Right.
did you
Right.
do to
Right.
what
deserve
did you do?
it?
What were you
Absolutely.
That.
wearing? Where were
Right.
you? Like, does
Hmm.
that matter? I don't care if I
Right.
was butt naked laid on the floor with my legs spread wide open. If I'm
Right.
out of my, that I'm out of my mind. And like you
Hmm.
said earlier, men, they will, it's like they almost like get like when you're like, I don't want to have a drink, because they always want to,
Right.
they want to get you, they want to
Right.
They want to
loosen you
keep
up, and it's like,
feeding that.
but I
Yeah.
don't want to drink.
Mm-mm.
And then it's like they kind of, I've had men get attitudes
Oh
Because you
because
yeah.
I
don't
don't
want
want
to.
to drink,
Uh-huh. Oh
or
yeah.
want to end the date because I
Or
don't want to
put you
drink,
down,
because
put you down, make you feel like
Hmm.
put you down, make you feel
oh,
like
were you a
something wrong
swear,
with
what are
you.
you, what's
That's what I'm saying. Like,
exactly.
oh, you church girl or something like that. No, it's just I don't know you,
I
and
don't
that's
know
what it
you, and I
is.
need
I
to be
don't
in my
know
right
you
mind
Right.
around you.
exactly and stuff like that.
Yep.
So
And as a matter of fact, now the date is over, because now
right,
that I've gotten older, when you start acting like that,
right,
that's a red flag to me. I don't know what you could be up
absolutely,
to. I don't know why you want me to be drunk so bad.
right,
Like, if you want to drink because you nervous or you want to loosen up, you do that. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm having fun.
Right.
I came here to have fun. I'm naturally like lit.
On a
I
high.
don't
Right.
need,
Right.
and I don't know you. I don't know you and I don't trust you. Because like I said,
Right.
the legal system, they're not gonna protect you. Like
They
sometimes
sure not.
in certain instances that you do get justice, but it's you have to go to court. You have to tell your story in front of
Right.
people. You have to keep reliving it. You have to talk to the police, and then you have the police because you should have seen how the police was looking at me like I'm just like some skeezer. And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
I
Like you
can
said, I was
imagine.
swinging around a pole
I can
Right. And
imagine.
because I
that's
had to
the
tell
worst
them I
part.
was doing drugs and to have to divulge that because I couldn't. I had to tell because they took me to the hospital, so they tested me. So telling even I had family members that were like, "Oh, so you were doing drugs? Will you put yourself in that situation?" I don't care if I
Wow.
was smoking crack.
No, you don't put
No,
yourself in a situation for somebody to violate you. And that's what I was saying.
exactly.
When the law now takes it, because they paint a picture of you. Now it's like, oh, you was doing that. So maybe you did something, or maybe you did something to make this person feel like it was okay for what they
Right.
did. That's what society tells you is the right way.
Mhm.
But no,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I said, a no is a no. And
Right.
a
A
no
no
is
is a
even worse
no.
when I'm out of my mind.
Right.
Exactly. If I'm out of my mind and I know enough to still say no, and you still continue to go or you wait till I pass out just and then like I told you my situation with my ex-fiance like waking up in the middle of having a man on top of you and then after I let it slide I guess because I told you I just pretended I was asleep because I was like this is not happening to me but
Mhm.
then for you to like have the attitude later on down the line to where it's like I'm your fiance like what
So I
he
can
was
just
like
do
almost
it.
a no. Yeah. He was like, because I woke up because one night I was like, I'm sick of this because it's after that first time. And I don't even know how long he was doing it before that. I just happened because I was drinking a lot. It just happened to be not as out of my mind as I usually am.
Hmm.
I don't know what
Right.
happened to the connection. Oh, I
I
can't
can
Yeah,
see
I
you
can
guys,
hear
but I can
you.
hear
I
you.
can hear
we can
you.
hear you. You're stopping, but we can still hear you.
I think
It's just the
So
something's
what do
Wi-Fi.
you
happening.
wish that people would understand like the survivors like response to this type of trauma right here? Like what do
Can
you
you
think?
guys hear me?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. Y'all are back now.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
so I just want to stop by and let you guys know my story. Do not be ashamed. Speak up for yourself. Call the police on these men. Stop letting it
Absolutely.
slide because if you let it slide, they'll do it to the next woman and the next woman and the next woman. But
Absolutely.
that one time they go to jail and then you around other men who want to take your manhood,
Oh yes.
then it's going to be a very different story. Now you're a
Different
victim.
story.
Now is yeah, all this shame and stuff. But I just wanted to stop by,
And
tell
Well,
my
thank you
thank
so
you for
story.
much,
stopping by and sharing
Elon.
your
We
story.
appreciate you.
Your story, we really appreciate it. And
No
hopefully,
problem.
a woman or a man will draw awareness from this topic and know that when you say no, be it you female or male, a no is a no, and that's just that simple.
And
That's
that's
just that.
it.
Absolutely.
That's bottom line. But I will
Absolutely.
see you women later. Thanks for
Thank
Bye.
having
you.
me.
See you.
Bye
You're
Bye.
welcome.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that was deep. That's a big story. That's a lot. It's a
Was.
lot. It's a lot. But we are steady bringing awareness to the things that we don't talk about and the things that make us feel uncomfortable. But you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable again.
Absolutely.
So as I stated on the show earlier, before you jumped on, women, when you out here dating on social media, please make sure you know who you're going out with before you jump off and be flying out of town or going on a date in a dark place, going to somebody's house when you don't know them, or just make sure you go in a setting that's where there's a lot of people. Make sure you're around somebody or somebody knows where you went or where you're going. Don't just go out here on a fly thinking, oh, I just know. You don't know these people. You're meeting them on social media. The same with dating apps. The same with even if you know somebody. Sometimes you can think you know somebody and you don't really know them.
Just
So
take
just be
all
mindful.
the proper precautions and everything when you're going on a date. I mean, give you some examples. You need to get the first and last name of the person. You need to get a license plate of that person. You need to get a
Hmm.
license plate. You need to get a picture, and then you need to send that to somebody. So, and then you need to tell them exactly where they're going. You need the restaurant name, the address. You need to be doing all of those things and everything, and take the
Yep.
proper precaution. You need to we need to start carrying it's a weapon. We need to start carrying our guns on us for safety, because you
For
never know
safety
what
alone,
can
you
happen.
know.
You never know what can happen. Pepper spray, bats, tasers, all of that. We need all of that. We
Mhm.
have to stay safe out here, ladies and gentlemen. All
And
right.
that is our show for today,
Yes.
y'all, on Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. And we will be back at this again tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love you. Please like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels, on all the ones that are floating across the screen at the bottom. And have a great and amazing rest of your evening. We are out of
Thank you
here.
so much. Love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's see if she get her heart to work today, y'all. Mine ain't working. It's because I'm on the wrong side of the screen. She took my power.
I don't see nothing up. I don't see nothing even coming up, to be honest.
It's not doing it. It's terrible. Yeah, Falon, you're right. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Girl, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, do you know this? What? Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is bold. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and poise. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, you know.